This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whissel, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Thank you, Sphere Rocket, for making another episode of the Icon podcast possible. You like that? That's my Sphere Rocket hand logo that I do with the onboarding specialist over there. And go Sphere Rocket.
Isn't it like one of these?
It's like a rocket ship, yeah, right? Like with your hand. But
that was a great intro, man.
You
this
like that?
is super boring from here on out. I don't think
I'm your host, Gianna. And I
What's
don't know how we can top that intro. Everybody's so hyped up. We're all excited.
And that's the show, folks. Thanks for coming out.
And that's it. See you next time. No, this is Mark, and he had an interesting story. He asked me if I stalked him on Facebook. I told him no. And he's like, well, I've got a real interesting story. I said, don't talk. Let me hit record. And we're here. So we're going to pick up there, Mark. Where are you from? What market are you in? How'd you get drug into real estate?
Funny, like I love how you said Mark, and you didn't try to hit my last name, and I don't blame you in the least. So it's actually Mark Verzyl. It's pronounced Verzyl. Everybody says Verzyl. I don't really care. Just thought I'd throw that in there. How did you get into real estate? What's that?
I said you called me out on that. I don't even attempt people's last names.
Yeah, well, and thankfully you had told me your first name when we first met. Otherwise, I was like, do I ask or don't I ask? Or because I knew I was going to mess it up. But how did I get into real estate? You know what? In high school, I was a friend of mine was. His dad was in real estate. I was interested in it. I thought that'd be a really cool job. And then later on in life, I actually didn't get into real estate until I hit about 29 or 30 because I thought I was too young. I thought at 20 or 19 or 20, I was too young. Stupid. I wish I had done that. So if anybody's listening to this and you're a young guy or gal, do it. Just do it. Stop thinking all these little things that are holding you up and just go for it because any age is not too late or too early. So, but I got in, I used to love watching in high school. I just was really interested in it. I did a bunch of other things and then decided when I was 29 or 30 that I was going to jump in. A little bit different than what most people do. I did go start to take the course, but then I live in Calgary, Alberta. That's my market. We think of ourselves as more global, so we do a lot of business out of Toronto. So for y'alls down south, Toronto's at least, I think it's 4,000 kilometers away, which in American terms would be about 3,000 miles. So we do a lot of business. Actually, most of my business was done out of Toronto into Calgary last year. But I've been in the business for about 25 years, which tells you how old I am now. And it was mostly in new homes at the beginning. So I worked with developers and builders at the, right from the get-go. And the plan was you don't have to be licensed in Alberta to work for new homes, work for a builder. So I dropped my license when I first got it, started working for a builder. And then my plan was 5 years with builders, and then 5 years as an agent, and then open a brokerage. The money was really good doing new homes, so I stuck with it for 17 years until I couldn't stand it anymore. And then I still love the industry. It was time for me to spread my wings and get out there. So I went and got licensed, and that was actually in 2014 that I got licensed. So it hasn't been that long.
Cool. So you've been in the game for a while, only been licensed since 2014. So then how did you come across EXP? Was it your first brokerage or, was it thrown at you? How'd you get here?
So EXP, I think I had 8 or 9 people approach me about it over the course of, I'm going to say about 18 months. And I'm a nice guy. I sat back and I listened to what they had to say, but nobody could explain it. So and I don't blame anybody. It's a little bit of a mouthful, and you know, they just be like, "Oh my God, it's great! You got to come and see it," and whatever. And I'm like, I'm super busy. So thanks. I'll let you know. And then after my partner Brad Vanderwall was drunk in Mexico one day, and somebody said, "Hey, you should come to EXP." And he's like, "I'll never leave Remax ever, 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 ever." And then 6 or 7 days later, we went, "Oh, we're in." Just like that. Although,
never.
Yeah, I said I was in, but then I also didn't say out loud that I'm going to rip this apart for the next 10 days. And that's what I did. I got into Google and I literally was like, EXP's a scam, EXP's for losers, EXP has terrible agents, like anything I could find. Yeah. They sell poison milk to school children, you know, like anything I could find. And like I wanted to find the fly in the ointment, and honestly, I couldn't find it. So basically we plugged our nose and jumped in about 2 weeks later. And it was, you know what, and in all honesty, and obviously I have a biased opinion, it's way better than we thought it was. So we went in with the intention that we'll give it a year. And if it's not what we think it is, if we find the fly in the ointment, we're going back to Remax, because we were super happy there. There was no reason for us to leave. But once we understood the business, the structure of it, I literally put my head in my hands and I was going, "Oh my God, why didn't we look at this 2 years ago?" Like, honestly, I'm like, "We missed the boat." And they were like, "Relax, you haven't missed the boat. We're still in our infancy." And then I was like, "Really? Thanks, guys."
That's great. That's great news.
Yeah. And will you?
And if you're listening, you still haven't missed the boat. Okay, we're growing still.
I'm like, will you still take us? I mean, we've been telling everybody EXP agents are terrible for the last year, and now we want in. Please let us in.
Now we want to be you. That's cool though. So, you know, you saw the model and you were like, "Wow," and you tried to pick it apart, and you just couldn't. You couldn't. You know, everything they came with you, I guess, was indestructible, not indestructible, but you know, you couldn't pick it apart. So, you know, really what keeps you here? Is it, you know, the icon levels? Is it the revenue share, stock options, collaborations? Why do you stay?
Oh my God. You know what? That's got a lot of hair on it. There's a lot of reasons. And really the biggest one is we have a big business. Like our business, we do a ton of deals a year. So I think last year, when we were at Remax, we were the #1 team at the #1 Remax office in the world. So we did, which is the #1 Remax office in the world. So we weren't the #1 team, but we were the #1 team at the #1 Remax office in the world. Anyways, we did about 500 deals in 2020. Last year we did 1,300, I think. This year, I think we'll eclipse, 2,000 or so. But we recognized immediately that what EXP, I'm going to back up a little bit. If you look into how things are progressing in technology. So in real estate, the old boys club, like technology has been held off for years and years. Like they just didn't want to go there. And then Zillow came along, and Open Door, and these huge companies that are coming out with big money behind them. And their goal is to get rid of agents. So everybody thinks that, you know, agents, it's $100 billion in commissions industry. And per year, they want that money, right? And so their programs in that aren't making money. Like they have a lot of money backing them, but most of their programs to buy online and stuff like Zillow and these huge companies, they're not profitable yet. And so everybody thought the agent was going to get replaced with technology. But the bottom line is the agent can't get replaced, because it would be like saying, well, we're going to replace the customers. It doesn't make sense. It's a people business, and you need people with relationships to help that sale come along. And so what EXP did is EXP came along and they went, no, we're not going to replace the agents. We're going to embrace the agents. So everybody was looking left, and EXP went this way. And so without knowing it, probably at the beginning, what they did is, the structure of every typical traditional brokerage, and I'm just going to take RE/MAX as an example, and I'm not picking on them. I loved RE/MAX. We loved working there. We just found a better way with this. And we didn't want to see it. And when we did see it, then we couldn't unsee it, right? Mm-hmm. And so the structure is international company. This is everybody else. So I'm just going to use RE/MAX. International company, they sell a region to somebody. The region sells they sell brokerages or franchises, and then the agents on the bottom, we do all the heavy lifting. All we do is pay upwards. And then the most I've ever made is from RE/MAX paying me anything was a $10 coffee card as like, hey, Merry Christmas, way to go that you won an award or whatever. Here's $10 at Tim Hortons. Go have yourself a coffee and a donut. Awesome, thanks. But I got an award, yay! Kind of thing that I'm going to tell everybody I got this award. Nobody cares except for me. And what EXP did is they, instead of getting rid of the agents, international company, agent, they got rid of the region and they got rid of the franchises. So now it's just the company and the agents. So what keeps us there? We're part owners in the company. We all have a stake in it. It's one big fire. So when we were at RE/MAX and these other companies, the other agents, they're happy to go out and have a beer with you. But no one's giving away the secret sauce. They are not telling you how it's done. EXP, we don't care. Like it's one big fire. If we're helping other agents get better at their business, then it's helping us get better at our business. We earn more stock shares. The stock goes up. The company grows bigger. And it's just better for everybody. And so that is probably one of the biggest reasons. We recognized immediately that it's not about, and this is part of the company, is like agents get to sponsor other agents to come into EXP, but it's not really about that. It's about helping everybody grow their business. We recognize immediately 90% of agents don't care about sponsoring other agents. They just want to grow their business. And that's what we do, is just help agents grow their business.
Right. So you saw the model with EXP, you liked the model, and you stay because you've got that scalability, right? So you can choose to recruit, you can not recruit, you can produce enough houses to hit that icon award, or you can produce enough to get by. I don't know. It's up to you. You could kind of just do whatever floats your boat, but at the same time, EXP, everybody wins. You're not holding those secrets to your chest. You're sharing them. You're encouraging each other. That collaboration. I mean, there's really a lot of reasons to stay with EXP, and you said it really well. I love that.
Sure, and I mean, there's a lot more to it than that. But that's on the surface, what's so interesting about EXP is that it's all about the agent. It's all about the agent, period. Where at RE/MAX and Century 21, it's about the brokers and it's about the franchise and the region making money, and then they hand out awards to make you feel good about it. It's the same as like you go into the army and then you lose your leg and you get this award, and thank God that you're out there and you do that, and thank you for your service. But then they just give you an award and you go home with that award and you're like, I can't do anything with this. This is like, the award makes me feel good, but I can't, it's not doing anything for me. Right. So EXP is 50 hours of live training a week. So it's all about the agents that we bring in, and we don't have to train them constantly and mentor them constantly. Like, we're there for them. But there's 50 hours of live training a week. We have our own live training every week, every day of the week within our own group, so that our agents are going to help grow and prosper. So the more great stories that we have within our own group, the more people that want to come to EXP or want to join our group, right? So it's, again, it's all about agents helping agents in growing this business and growing your real estate business. So.
Absolutely. One of my favorite sayings from an icon agent is that you learn, you earn, and then you return here at EXP. Give back to, the people that taught you, the newbies, just everything else here. It's awesome to see that collaboration.
Totally. So we've got, and I'll give you some examples. We've got some brand new guys that started with us like not even quite a year ago. So I sat down with them. We, had a little powwow. We were new at this, like growing the team in EXP. It kind of changed things a little bit. But so we sat down with them and, what are your goals? What do you want to do? And one of them said, hey, I want to quit my full-time job at Amazon in 6 months. And I want to do a dozen deals this year. And the other one said, I want to do 20 deals this year. And then I kind of sat back and I think I giggled a little bit and they were like, what's wrong? Like, why are you laughing at us? I'm like, I'm not laughing at all. It's human nature for you to hold yourself back. And you guys can do way more than that. Like, you guys could do 100 deals in the next year if you want. You just have to set the goal and then shoot for it. And then we're going to help you lay out the roadmap to get there. And now, had they been at Remax or Century 21, they would have strove for that 12 or 20 because it's really doubtful anybody in the brokerage is going to sit down and go, hey, let me help you get there. And let me tell you something, you can do way more business than that. And both of those guys are about 11 months into their business. And both of them are over 60 deals this year. So yeah. And I like to use those guys as an example. Joel, he didn't even live in our city. He lived in Edmonton, which is about 4 hours north. He's like, should I come down there? We're like, absolutely, move down here. So he moved down with nothing. Basically found himself a little basement suite or whatever. And he had a desk and a chair and his laptop. And that's how he started. Right. And we in our office and just hanging around guys that just aren't settling for less for ourselves was absolutely instrumental. And this is happening within our group with every agent. It doesn't matter if they're in the city or they're outside of the city or whatnot. They're plugging into us and just helping grow that business. So
yeah, no, that's really cool. And you're taking these I guess really mentees, people that you're coaching, people that you're taking under your wing, and you're telling them you can do more. You've got that production, and hey, you want to compete with me? Like, come and get me. Like, I want you to. Like, let's get this going because you win, we all win. That fire burns just a little bit brighter, and that's one of the things that many people love about EXP.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely.
And so, Mark, you obviously work a lot. It sounds like you have a team. Sounds like you're a pretty busy guy. So what do you do to take care of Mark? How do you make sure you've got that work-life balanced?
Wow. Hit me with that one, right? Is my wife back there someplace?
She's under the desk.
I love working. And I work a lot. I did, this is going to sound like bragging, but this is credibility. So in 2018, I had a terrible year. A friend of mine killed himself. He died. I went down the rabbit hole. Oh, what could I have done? And that kind of thing. And then, so I only did 25 deals that year, which I know to some people, if you're brand new, you're like, wow, that's a lot. But it was one of the toughest years I ever had. And we were in a recession. Last year I did 860 deals myself, and that was mainly in pre-construction, a little bit of resale, and so pre-construction. So I take projects and list them and sell them to investors and that kind of thing. Not like just investors that are buying one or two at a time, and that's a whole nother story. But I honestly don't think I put more time into my business, or not that much more time last year than I did in 2018 when I only did 25 deals. And it's we're just more about finding the best, easiest ways to do more deals for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. And you'd think that would be normal, but really it's almost an obsession. So so I'm not working really much more than I do. I do love working, so it's my choice to put in a 10-hour day or a 12-hour day or a 14-hour day if I want to, and if the business is there and it's leading to to my goal. But I do make sure that I take a day off every couple of weeks, or if I need it, to that weekend, and just shut it off and let other people deal with it so they can hang out with the family. So we'll do stuff like we live really close to Banff. We're only an hour 15, hour and a half away. So Banff, Alberta. Rocky Mountains, very big draw, lots of skiing and stuff. And so we'll go tubing or skiing, or, in the summertime, we like to go down to our cabin and do cabin stuff, right? Won't get into it. Okay, it's like a lot of beer drinking, floating down the river, fishing, wakeboarding, that kind of stuff. So the summertime, I take a little bit more time off. But when I go on a vacation, I go on a vacation. Like it's like shut it off, and I'll go for 8 or 9 days or 10 days, whatever it is. I just went to the Dominican a couple of weeks ago, and then it just makes it that much sweeter to be able to, when you go on vacation, to go, okay, I earned this, and then go out, meet people, do whatever it is that you do. So those are the things that we like to do. It's more travel, and then when we shut it off for the most part.
Yeah, making sure that you're setting your boundaries with like, hey, like I'm on vacation, I've got a team, I've got some colleagues. You talk to them, like making sure, and that they have your back. That's the cool thing about it. They're not trying to steal your lunch. They want to help you out. And so you can afford to take those days off, and you can't afford to shut that phone off and set those boundaries for yourself. Then when you come back, you're the best facing for your clients, everybody at your office, your fam. So I think you've got it down packed, even though you like to work. Says no one ever.
There's a point where we'd like to shut it all off. And that's kind of shut it, like not run around with, you're not going to want to do this for the rest of your life. Trust me. Like you don't want to keep running around with buyers and putting where there's 15 offers in on a house, and that stuff will slow down, and it's going to go the other way at some point. So everybody, when it's the lows of the lows, are all like, oh my God, we're never coming out of this. You're like, yes, you are. It's coming back. And then, at the highs, they're like, oh my God, it's going to be like this forever. No, it's not. It's going to switch again. So what are you doing in order to, for your business today? And what are you doing to grow your business so that you don't have to worry about the future when the highs and the lows, when things shut off again? And that's where EXP comes in with growing your business, number one, for today and for the future. And then number two, if you want to talk about stock shares a little bit, and that's where ownership comes into the company is, for the first deals that you do, when you icon, there's, I think, 4 or 5 different ways you earn stock in the company. And I didn't look at it until late last year. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, wow, this is actually awesome. It's really healthy. You can put 5% of your income towards stock at a 10% discount. And honestly, at 5% of your stock at a 10% discount, I had mutual funds for years that didn't make more than 4 or 5%. And then they're just offering it to you at a 10% discount right off the hop. So like that, you have to get into. The two things that agents are fantastic at: not paying taxes and not saving money. So it's a great retirement income for you, so that you can actually shut this off. I think the average agent, if I'm not mistaken, in North America is about 57. And I find that surprising. You would think it'd be 32 or 35 or something like that. And it's because a lot of agents can't stop. They have to, they spent the money, or they're still paying their taxes off, or whatever it is they're doing, and haven't planned for the future. So one of the beauties of EXP is that stock share that you get. And you can, and then of course you don't have to just stick with the stuff that they give you, and that you can go out and publicly buy it as well. So, which is, as soon as I knew I was flipping EXP, I bought a whole bunch of stock shares, because I'm like, this company is on fire, and it's just going to continue to grow. So. And then I get the odd person that goes, yeah, but the stock went down a little bit. And I'm like, yeah, that's good, because I'm buying more stock. You want it to go down sometimes. And so, it kind of does this on the way up. So, and it's had an amazing run. And I mean, I can't say whether it's going to go up or not, but we're at almost 80,000 agents worldwide now. Projection is, I believe, in the next 3 years to be at 500,000. And then end of the decade, 1.1 or 1.2 million agents worldwide, which will absolutely eclipse everything that's out there. So is the stock going to go up? I don't know. You decide.
Right. Absolutely. No, you're right.
Yeah.
I love that. That's really cool. And it's cool to think about, and you've got that nest egg, you've got that retirement, or, some people have used it to put a down payment in cash on property for their dream house, and like just kind of crazy stuff that I've heard, coming to fruition because of those stock options, which is really cool to hear, especially from people that believe in EXP so much. And so you get those stock options, of course, as one of the portions of the award for Icon. And you're an icon. That's why you're on this podcast. So what did you have to do, to qualify for the icon? And what does that award mean to you? And what benefits did it bring you? In your own words, Mark, the Icon Award.
So what an icon agent is so we're an 80-20 split on the brokerage fees. So it's an 80-20 split, and it caps at $16,000. So once you've paid $16,000 in, so if you're in a brokerage and you've never heard of that, kind of a scenario, because you pay a desk fee or however it's done. So 20% of the commission goes up to $80,000, goes to the brokerage. And then, so once you've paid $16,000 in out of your $80,000 in gross commission, once you've paid $16,000 in, it's 100% commission after that. Okay. And then when you do 20 more deals on top of that, so in Calgary, you would have to do about, where I live, 500,000 is probably the average. You have to do about 8 or 9 deals in order to cap. And then once you hit that, you do 20 more deals. So it'd be about 28. You become an icon agent. So when you become an icon agent, you get that 16,000 back from EXP in stock. Mm-hmm. So if you are at Remax or you at Century 21, has your brokerage ever given you your brokerage fees back again? Just ask that question.
Nope, you kiss it goodbye.
You kiss it goodbye. And you know what, that hit me a few years ago before I was in EXP. Honestly, I was like, I paid these guys so much money at Remax that, like, and I can just kiss it goodbye. And I was thinking, I was like imagining my retirement. This is a few years ago. I was imagining my retirement, where I talked to Pat, the owner, and he's like, "Hey man, thanks for all the great years," or whatever. And buys me a bowl of soup or something. I'm going to be sitting there going, I should have had a brokerage or something, like I'm going out with nothing here. And man, did they take me for a ton of money. So don't wait till then to look deep into this. If you are not in EXP, you need to really take a serious look at this, and it's everyone, all the, I did a webinar on really early in EXP. I did a webinar on pre-construction. We had a lot of people on there, and at the end of it, we kind of talked about EXP a little bit. And then the next day, there was a couple people that ripped me in this Facebook group, and I was all like, "What happened?" Everybody was like super happy. We gave away all of this information, and the people that actually were upset were, when I looked their names up, they were all brokers and recruiters for franchises. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. They're scared. Well, they should be scared, because this thing is on fire, and it's like a bullet, straight up. Like, this thing is absolutely incredible how fast it's growing. It's mind-boggling at how long it took to take off, and then just went like this, like exponential. But it's still in its infancy. It's not even 0.5% of where it will be. So, which is what's really, really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a fire that keeps burning brighter and brighter every day, and the people are being drawn towards it. But of course, there are going to be those who, fear it, spread misinformation, and, they poison the children's school milk. Just what you touched on earlier, And so if you have questions about EXP, why don't you talk to an agent that's doing well over here? Talk to somebody, look up some podcasts, look up some blogs, and just ask questions. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, right. Do your due diligence. Absolutely. And I did that. I said, hey, I'm in. And in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm taking a few days and if I find the fly in the ointment, it's not happening. Right. That's what I was thinking, because I've seen it all out there, and I couldn't find it. I could not. If you find it, can you please let me know, so that I can not be happy? Because I'm pretty happy right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and there's one thing,
but if you're a jerk, if you're an ass, don't come. We don't want you. We just want like-minded, good people. We don't need drama. We don't need any of that. So if you're out there going, Israel, stay there. Go do your thing and be unhappy wherever you are, because this isn't for you.
No. People will kill you with kindness here. It's disgusting. You're going to hate it. You're going to hate it if you're a grumpy person.
You might be happy.
Can't even imagine. And I'll tell you, there is one thing, Mark, that every single icon agent I've talked to just regrets about EXP. They wish they had done it sooner.
Yeah, as soon as you started a line, I'm like, I know exactly where
she's going. I know it.
Because it was a year and a half of people approaching me, and the first one was on a call, and she was in another province. I can't even remember why we were chatting, and she's like, I just got into EXP. You'd be really good at this. You should check this out. And I'm like, what's EXP? And then she never got back to me, and I was curious, and then she never got back to me. So could have been, and like. We had, once we knew EXP was out there, we were like, the agents are no good. Why would we be there? Our biggest worry was our brand. Oh, we're leaving the RE/MAX brand. What's going to happen to our business? We had, and this was at the end of the year, 2020. And we had 50 listings at the end of the year. And when we made the calls to terminate them and redo the paperwork to bring them over, 3/4 of them, I swear to God, 3/4 of them said, oh, you guys are at RE/MAX? What an eye opener. No idea. And it's because RE/MAX planted this in our heads that it's all about them and it's all about the brand. And if you want to be here, it's our signage and whatever. And in the back of my mind, I'm always like, all these signs look the same and it's my name on it, but nobody's resonating with me. They're resonating which isn't true. They're resonating with the signs and stuff. And the beauty of the EXP is you can brand yourself however you want, as long as, the rules are always, you have to have the EXP logo on there. And that's an industry norm that you have to have that. But brand yourself the way you want. So if you're at a small brokerage and you're worried, and I hear this all the time, or a team, and they're like, no, I've got my brand. You're like, take your brand. You are the brand. This is exactly what EXP is all about. You are the brand. We grew our business from RE/MAX. We were so concerned that we were going to lose business because we weren't RE/MAX anymore. And don't get me wrong, we loved RE/MAX. We were happy there. Now we're happier. We just didn't know we could be happier. And then our business more than doubled the next year, 500 deals to 1,300 deals, 1 year to the next year. Okay, so you are the brand. It's not RE/MAX or Century 21 or whatever, like they're going to lead you to believe. It's about you.
No, you're 100% right. And guess what? People here, the 50 live hours of training a week are going to teach you how to elevate your brand, not just EXP. They want you to grow. Like if you want to focus in on social media and how to get a reach there, I have talked to some icon agents that I was blown away that one had about 45% of her closes come from her social media. And then I had another icon agent and 80% of her closes come from social media. That's her brand. That's her lifestyle that she's living. And people are buying it through Instagram, through Facebook. People will teach you on how to grow that brand. And, as much as the realtors love EXP, the common person doesn't even know what's a brokerage. What is a brokerage? Why are you guys, you're with a brokerage?
Right.
What's a real estate brokerage?
Oh, you mean I'm
you're a broker now?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Right. Yeah, no, that's so true. And so back to the 50 hours of live training a week at EXP. So yes, and guess who's teaching the live training at EXP? It's all the top agents, icons and mega icons at EXP that are teaching the program. So they're not bringing people in from the outside. It's actually agents that are doing it. So our myth and what we led ourselves to believe, because we didn't want to look into EXP, was that the EXP was full of donkey realtors that didn't know what they were doing. That was literally a word we threw around, and it's exactly the opposite. The number of ballers that are working at EXP is unbelievable. And the teams that are coming over with, 10 guys and 15 guys that are doing 100 million, 300 million in business is mind-boggling. So we came over and we thought we were a big deal. We're not even that big a deal. There's way bigger dogs than we are, and there always is. But the point is, those guys stay at EXP because they know how good it is. Do you know who leaves? Is the one that they can't do any business because they have no drive and no motivation. And that this company is growing so fast, almost 1,000 agents a week. And it's because we're retaining the best agents in the industry because they understand what's at stake here and how good it is for the agent, not just for them, but for the agents and the agents that they sponsor and bring into the company. So, and would you work by yourself? Do you want to work by yourself out there alone? Just go read Gary Keller's book, The Millionaire Agent. Was it Gary Keller or was it Williams? I can't remember. I think it was Keller that wrote it, The Millionaire Agent. And it's not about being a millionaire agent. They just wrote that title just to capture your attention. But just listen on Audible or read the first 2 chapters, and it'll put it all into perspective. Just those 2 chapters that, like, we're the only industry that goes out and tries to, we get licensed. There's no sales and marketing training whatsoever. And then all the brokerages go, oh yeah, we got lots of training. And then you go in there and there's never enough. It's not enough. Like, and then they just throw you on your own and you try to reinvent everything. So you do this for 2 months. I'm going to go do postcards. I'm going to go knock on doors for 2 months. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do that. And you try everything and you master nothing. And then you get paralyzed, paralysis analysis. And would you rather do that, or do you want to work with a bunch of ballers that are going to go, okay, we're going to cut this down by 4 years from you? Because 85% of agents out there in like all the brokerages are gone in 3 years. So that system's broken. It's not working. Or do you want to work with a bunch of ballers who are going to teach you what to do and what not to do, because we've already blown shit tons of money doing the wrong thing that you don't have to do. So, and they can just say, and no one's going to tell you have to do it this way. They're going to just give you a roadmap and do it the way you want to do it, but just as long as you stay on track doing it this way. So if you want to be a dominant listing agent, then teach you how to farm. If you want to be just work with investors, I'm your guy, man. I can show you how to do hundreds of deals a year. You know, it's a brave new world at EXP. So, and again, yes, I'm a biased opinion, but I was on your side. I saw it out there before.
He was on the other side of the fence looking at the greener grass, and we'll get there in just a few minutes. But to circle back, while you're talking to people that are coming over and, maybe they're fresh out of getting licensed and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know anything. Marketing postcards, I have to knock on doors. People want me to knock on their door, or what's going on? The thing is that there's a lot of training at EXP. Okay, but you are going to have to take it upon yourself to dive into a lot of it, whether it comes to branding or leaning into your mentors, showing up to those coaching meetings and hitting those weekly goals that you set out. I mean, it's not something that's given to you. There's one thing that I know about the EXP agents that succeed, and they're hustlers.
100%. Absolutely. It's was the question, what's the question in there? Is there a question in there?
Get in there. So here's the thing, maybe you're a real estate agent coming into EXP as your first brokerage. Maybe you're coming to EXP as your 5th brokerage, but it's your first year with EXP. Is the Icon Award something that they should strive for? How do they go about that? Just some advice to the newbies over here at EXP.
You know what? I think the Icon Award, it's a good goal to strive for, but I think you can do more than that. And this is what we try to instill in our guys that we sponsor into our group in EXP is we set our own limitations. And so we got to try to shed that. And you can do way more than you think. And right now you're saying, I don't really think so. Yes, you can. Anybody can. If I can do it, especially anybody can. And it's about being involved, and then like if you're working around guys that are really crushing it, you are naturally just going to try to strive for more. So becoming like an icon could be 22 deals, if you're in San Francisco or New York or whatever. In other markets it might be 30 deals or whatever it is. You can do 50 in your first year. You could do 100 in your first year. Whatever you think you are going to do, you need to 10 times that, and push towards that goal. So my business partner was literally, and I know this is big. This is a few years after he got going. He was hitting 400,000 GCI every year. So gross commission, 400 grand, 400 grand, 400 grand. And then finally he said, screw it, I'm going for $1 million. Guess what happened the next year? He hit 850. Oh, boo-hoo. Right? Because he pushed his goal up there. So get rid of your limitations. Stop listening to all these guys that are like, oh, most agents only do 6 a year. Who cares? Right? That's because they're listening to everybody else. You can do way more than you think. So set your goal at 50, 60, 70. Guess what's going to happen organically? You're going to become an icon agent.
Absolutely. That's just kind of just happens in the background while you're working towards goals that are maybe for yourself. And, Mark, part of that icon award too is to give back to your culture. So, that can be mentoring, coaching, speaking, teaching lessons. Which path did you take?
We have our own bit, like our own coaching company called Double Your Income Coaching, and it's absolutely free, and we give back to agents all over the world. So if they want to join, we have probably 7,000 agents in there now. If they want to join it, they can join it. There's no catch. Absolutely no catch, and so they can be in there every Tuesday. We do a coaching call, and we have different experts within our group that come on there. And if we think it's important, we'll bring somebody in from outside the group, but mostly within our group, and then just teach a different thing. So in a couple of weeks, I'll do pre-construction. That's one of the bigger ones. There's a lot of it's more of an Ontario term, pre-con. So think of it as new homes, but it's specifically before they put it in the ground. It could be condos, it could be anything really. And we work with investors to buy it. So and this isn't like big mega companies buying like 50 of them at a time. It's guys buying 1 or 2 at a time, mostly 1, and just building a database of those, and so that you're not running around with buyers like trying to get. I'll do that once. 10 offers and we didn't get it. Okay, let's go do something else. Like I'm going to go after a different client because it's too time consuming. There's only so much time in that. So stop trading time for money. Okay. Do this, like find the fastest way that you can make money and build your income, build your real estate biz. So how do we give back is the question. I do pre-con, that's my expertise, and I teach agents how to leverage. I got about 8 different ways to leverage builders to build your business.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's a great topic to speak on. And then that brings me back to my last question. We kind of touched on it earlier. There are people sitting on the ledge, they see the greener grass, and they're thinking it's a cult. I'm not doing it. It's a pyramid scheme. I'm not making the jump. Don't call me for coffee. Don't take me to lunch. You guys are crazy. And I'm not drinking that EXP juice. What would you have to say to somebody like listening right now thinking that?
You're scared. Like you're scared and you're afraid to take a risk. And I get it. I understand it. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a get rich over time, learning the right things to do, and learning from everyone's mistakes so that you don't have to make the same ones and spend the money and blow your brains out and all this stuff. It's literally a get rich over time scheme, but it's all for you and for me. It's one big fire. It's just a business that helps agents. And I understand why you're sitting back. You're like, this is too good to be true. I got to find the fly in the ointment. Then get out there and go look at it. Go watch YouTube videos. Don't take my word for it. Get out there and go see why somebody left or why somebody stayed or whatever. But go do your own due diligence. But the more time you waste, the more time your business is either just sitting stagnant. You're like, oh yeah, but my business grew by 1.5 times last year. Really? Did it really? Or did sales go up last year from last year to this year and double? That means you went backwards, right? So dive deep into that stuff. Take a look at it and then plug your nose or whatever it is, and then jump in and do it. You can always go back if it doesn't work out for you. That's what we did. We said, if it doesn't work, we're giving it 1 year. If this isn't what they say it is, then I'm going to write them a really bad review and I'm out of here in a year, right? So, but it's about cutting that time down. 92% of agents are gone in 5 years. So if you're going to be part of that 8%, out there with Remax or Century 21 or whatever brokerage that you're with, Home Life, just cut that time down. It's gonna, working with agents, you're gonna take 2 or 3 years off of that time frame to build your business. Isn't that worth something for you? No,
you're absolutely right. You don't know what you don't know. So you don't have to necessarily dive in, but I think a free lunch will be worth the time spent with an EXP agent.
I would say, absolutely. Again, do your own due diligence. Your own due diligence. I have not been drinking yet. Your own due diligence, and get out there and get on YouTube, get on social media, see what's going on out there, and do what I did. Google EXP's terrible, EXP's a scam, EXP's a cult, EXP's a MLM, EXP's only this. So we were. Some people say to me, "Oh, all you guys are interested in is, you have to recruit agents and stuff." No, you don't. Do you have to at Keller Williams? Keller Williams does the same thing. We just do it better. It's more profitable. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. That's why we say we sit our agents down. And when I sit down, it may not be literal. It might be over a Zoom if they're in Toronto and I'm in Calgary. And we go over their business plan and where the holes are in it, and how we can help them grow their business and make recommendations. But it's up to them what they want to do. I'm not muscling anybody into it. It's the worst thing we could do. You're either swimming to the boat or you're swimming away from the boat, right?
Right.
If you're swimming to the boat, we're going to help you. If you're swimming away, I can't do anything for you. I don't have time to chase you. So I'm not doing it anyway.
Absolutely. And I don't blame you for that, Mark. We've got a big fire burning over here. It's only up, fastest growing real estate company. If you want to learn more, everybody at EXP wants to talk to you about it. They will. They're not going to hunt you down, but they want to talk to you about it.
100%. 100%.
100%. Well, Mark, you've gone through all my questions.
What's going on in Tennessee over there?
Nothing, really.
How's the weather?
I think we're supposed to get rain tonight. Lots of rain.
Is that right? Oh, that sucks. Well, at least it's not snow where we are.
And you guys snow? Yeah, I'm from Colorado, so I'm not foreign to that, right? But in Tennessee, it snows like 1/4 of an inch, and it's the end of the world. No more milk, no more bread, no more eggs.
Kind of like COVID did to everything.
Yes, and then everybody's on the side of the road because they're too scared to drive. And I'm up in here with my big 4-door Jeep Wrangler, see ya,
I got you on topic. One of the questions I want you to ask yourselves, if you are sitting on the fence, going back a few minutes here, what is your broker doing for you? Ask yourself that question. What is your broker doing for you?
Well, Mark, what is EXP doing for you?
What's EXP doing for me? It's helping me build a global business, because that's what I wanted to do. And for one of our guys on our team, that answer would be completely different. For them, it's help them build their business fast in their first year as an agent. For another agent, it's going to be help me grow my retirement fund, because they're 48 or 50 and they've been in the business for a long time, and they're starting to freak out because they know they don't want to be doing this for the rest of their life, running around with buyers and that. For another guy, it's about growing a team faster and learning. You can grow a team and get up to 75 or sorry, you could be doing 75 or 80 deals and then grow your team and get up to 150 and make less money. So how do I do this and grow my income? So there's so much to this business. And you don't have to be alone out there. And that's the big thing with us. It's just a massive collaboration of agents, and it's a great thing. It's awesome. I hate working alone. So I've always had to work with a team one way or another, whether I was on one or whether I was leading it. So.
Absolutely. And I'm sure COVID was tough for you, man. It was tough for me just being isolated. Seems like you like to be in the team spirit of environment, surrounded by people, energizes you, and which is not a bad thing. But
yeah, absolutely.
I get it. And the world's coming back around.
It is, absolutely. Yeah. We're wide open again. There's nothing going on. So
okay, even up there in Canada. Awesome. The South's been open for like ever, really.
In the Great White North.
They're like, masks? No. And that was it. That was that. Down here at least. But yeah, that's good to hear. Canada is coming back around. Everything's, come back around. Now's the time to jump in the market. It's hot. It's not always going to be hot forever, but there's so much to learn around here. There's so much to do. There's coaches to lean into. There's a coach to make out of you. And, EXP, you don't know what you don't know. And Mark, I'm out of questions for you. So is there anything else you want to touch on?
No, I think we're good. It's been fun. Thanks for letting me verbal diarrhea all over the place. And I'm pretty passionate about real estate. I'm pretty passionate about, helping agents grow. And I don't know, it's just like we don't think in terms of, if I give away the secret sauce, then that's going to be competition to me. If we give away the secret sauce, 90% of people don't do anything with it, to be honest with you. But there's nothing we like more than it's about abundance. And the more we give away, the more we seem to get out of it, and helping agents grow their business. And Joel, for example, in our group, who went from 0 to 300,000 GCI in his first year, is we love that, man. That's fantastic. So
we want everybody to win here. What do they say around here? A rising tide raises all ships.
That's right.
Something like that. Yeah, it really is, something to go by here at EXP. Mark, thank you for coming and joining me today, and be on the lookout for me at Shareholders and EXP Con, because I'll be hunting you down to pick your brain a little bit more.
Yeah, you bet. That's in June.
Yeah, we've got one coming up in June, and then I think EXP Con's in November.
I'm going to be at a wedding, so I'll be at the next one.
Okay.
You can hunt me down.
I'm hunting you down. You count on it.
Absolutely.
You count on it, Mark.
All right.
Okay, well, nice to meet you, and we'll be in touch soon, okay?
You betcha.
Bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success, and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.